You are subhuman.
Things can go back to normal after Donald Trump leaves.
It's not possible.
Get your guns, get your militia, get your people.
We're all being censored.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to the show. So glad you could be here today. Listen, we've got a great show planned for you. We've got some people calling for revolution, some people threatening ICE in a very serious way. There is a call to have a little bit of a Nuremberg action going on sometime in the near future. And then we're going to be hitting that Rhode Island shooting, that trans shooting, and then jumping in to some voter ID madness. So it's going to be a wild ride as we jump into that liberal pool of madness. So sit back, relax, and buckle up. We're about to enter the Lib Zone.
Quick timeline and mutual cleanse. I love trans people. I love gay people. Free Palestine. Free Sudan. Free Congo. AI. Oh my.
They're doing a financial blockade on Minneapolis right now, like the Twin Cities, Hennepin County, where I reside. We're all being censored. So that's why you're not hearing about it. Keep talking about it. There's a financial blockade in Minneapolis.
I think that bots are flooding TikTok with discouraging comments saying that we are not ready for a revolution. On every post that I see talking about how it's time for a revolution, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of comments of naysayers saying that we could never pull it off. And
Yeah, I don't think those are bots. That's because you can't pull it off.
All different versions of basically saying it's not possible. And I noticed that these comments have a lot of likes too. But everyone who I talk to personally is ready for big changes to happen. So this is my message to you now. It is time for a revolution. We are ready. Biscoff cheesecake.
I'm a veteran. I live a hop, skip, and a jump from Minnesota, and I'm willing to lead us. I'm willing to lead us. I'm right here. I'm willing to lead us. I need you guys to get this video out there, and please DM me, like, let me know how we can organize. I'm willing to be the face of this shit. I am done with this shit. The world is done with this. We have a dictator and a domestic terrorist group running our country, and this is not the America that I served, and I won't have wasted my time. So please get this video out there, and let's organize for.
What's up, guys? If you're a Republican, you're a punk-ass bitch. You're a soy boy, beta cuck. You support pedophilia. And you are subhuman. Let me know what you think about that in the comments.
Yeah.
My governor, Gretchen Whitmer, alongside Gavin Newsom, as well as senators and congressmen from the United States, stood in front of European leaders.
Did she almost say uterus?
And promised that relationships could be restored. And that things can go back to normal after Donald Trump leaves.
Oh, yeah. So we could just get totally screwed by Europe and the rest of the world. Yeah, let's go back to that method. How did that turn out, Biden?
In less than 4 years.
But wait a minute. I thought Trump was a king. But it's going to be done in less than 4 years? That's weird.
There's two statements happening there.
One, yeah.
Donald Trump will not finish his term.
How do you get that from what Gavin Newsom was talking about? That he is temporary. He only has 3 years left, lady. I mean, that's the reality. It does not mean that he's going to not finish the 3 years.
Two.
Okay.
The fact that they have to do that alone is a problem.
ICE agents not getting paid.
Okay.
And still going out to work makes you very evil. Like really evil.
Super evil.
This is my daughter. She's an atheist, and I hope she stays that way. Not because I'm gonna indoctrinate her, because I'm not.
Yeah, you totally are. What are you talking about? If you're an atheist, you're totally gonna indoctrinate your daughter. I mean, you cannot help but indoctrinate her. Don't be an idiot.
I'm just not gonna let anyone else indoctrinate her. Remember that atheism is the default when you don't let someone else brainwash you. So like, follow, do it for the children.
I don't think you're a girl. Yeah.
I am waiting for the day that every single ICE agent is exposed, names are released, and they're all held accountable for their actions. I cannot wait for that to happen, because all those people who jumped into the ICE train just because of the $50,000 check, you got more crimes, boo. And you got to live with that, and your family has to live with that. You're going to be in jail for the rest of your life after this. Just so you know.
What the heck?
That person is peeing and pooping outside.
Well, that third world energy that Mamdani's bringing to New York is kicking in a little bit sooner than I thought. And there's a bunch of protesters gathering outside Trump Towers in New York. And, you know, these people are completely useless. And the only thing they have left in their repertoire is throwing up the bird and telling Trump to F off. So, I don't know. These people are stupid. Check it out.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, if you're enjoying the show, please support the channel by buying a hot chocolate, because the Lib Zone runs on it. And we have yet another mass shooting that I'm just going to start calling trans shooting, because that seems to be what it always is. These people, these men, are being pumped up with drugs and making them psychotic. And I don't know when we're going to start taking this seriously. And I don't know, it's just a real shame, because it's needless. You know what I'm saying? So here is Robert Dorgan. This is actually a shot of the shooting. It's in slow motion. It's kind of grainy. There's nothing graphic or anything like that, but apparently this is from the hockey game when he took out his wife. It's just so pointless. It's needless. This does not need to happen, but you know, the left, I don't know, they like celebrate this stuff. Anyways, let's take a look and let's get into it. And here's Robert Dorgan's daughter, and she just straight up says, look, my dad was sick. He was mentally ill, and he needed help. And that is definitely the message we need to take going forward, dealing with these transgender men that think they are women. We got to stop giving them drugs, because it is turning them into psychotic killers. Well, anyways, it's sad. Let's take a look at what she has to say.
Shot my family, and he's dead now.
She described that shooting suspect as her father. She came out of the police department behind me here in tears after presumably being interviewed by police.
My father was a shooter.
What happened?
Shot my family, and he's dead now.
What was the reasoning? Was there a family argument?
He has mental health issues. So.
So yes, she goes on to describe those mental health issues a little bit more. She says that he had been struggling with mental health for quite some time. She said, quote, he was very sick.
Anybody else wonder why we're not holding doctors accountable for affirming people like this rather than giving them mental evaluations, taking care of their heads? Because, you know, giving hormones to somebody, not actually treating what's going on with them, may be leading to other events. Why are the doctors not held accountable? Oh, and by the way, there were signs. Have you seen what he's been commenting on conservative creators' posts like Alex Jones? I'm going to show you. Alex Jones makes a comment so creepy. Roberta says, STFU, Alex, don't be so butthurt over somebody different, then wonder why trans people go effing berserk. One day. That was one day before that horrible incident. Kevin Sorbo makes a post about Tim McBride saying what Tim McBride's gender is. Roberta says, keep bashing us, but do not wonder why we go berserk. This was February 15th. So again, I just want to know, why are doctors not held accountable? Because something needs to change. If we are having an influx of people going out and doing these things, and there seems to be a trend, then who are we holding accountable? I just want to know, who should we be holding accountable?
Yeah, that's a really good question. You know, if a bartender keeps giving somebody drinks and they know this person is totally plastered, yet they just keep shoving drink after drink in front of this person, and then that person leaves and gets into an accident, let's say they kill somebody, I believe the bartender is going to be going to jail along with the person that committed the accident. So why wouldn't doctors that promote this treatment, why wouldn't they be liable? I think that's a good route to go. Let's start exploring that option. But here is somebody that's talking about how we need to start getting a little bit more masculinity back into our culture. Let's check it out.
This is not a woman. This man should have been in a mental hospital because he thought that he was a woman and was dressing like this. But instead, he was out roaming the streets and killed his family because he is mentally ill. If you are going to defend that this man is a woman, then you need to be in a mental hospital too.
Yeah.
Enough is enough. We need masculine men back in our society. We are seeing it crumble right before our eyes. We are seeing men dress as women. This is weak. This is not masculine. Bring the men back.
And speaking of weak men, here is the governor of Rhode Island. And this dude, he's still toting the line, saying that it is gun violence that's the issue and not the mental stability of these men that think they're women. I don't know. Check it out.
I want to talk to the families out there right now. Too many Rhode Islanders know what it feels like to lose a loved one, a neighbor, or a friend to gun violence.
What, are you retarded?
And of course, this leads back to the stochastic terrorism that I keep on talking about. That is, I believe, the proper terminology to use. When talking about this, the media has whipped everybody up into a frenzy. This anti-ICE, they're the Nazis, they're the Gestapo, they're evil incarnate, and this is the result.
So I'm sitting here watching a video this morning, watching my daughter get ready for school, and I'm seeing innocent people being killed by ICE. What the fuck are you guys doing? I hope you see this video, because I'm going to tell America right here, right now, this ends when we stand up and we start shooting back. Get your guns, get your militia, get your people. And when ICE comes to town, don't give them a chance. Get a sniper and shoot. Blow their faces off. Watch them drown in their own damn blood.
This is the party of love and tolerance, my friend, on full display.
Because America will be great again when we realize that we're the ones who make the rules, people. If you don't like the that are in there, then take them the out. Because if you don't, they're going to take us the out. Stand up for your damn rights. Stop being pussies. Stop yelling and asking them what's wrong with them. What's wrong with them is they've been given power that does not belong to them. Because we act like we're scared little bitches.
Because you are.
Flip the damn tables. Let them know who's boss and take the out. It's as serious and as simple as that. Pick up your guns, end the tyranny, and blow their asses away. Game over.
What do you think about storming into a church and disrupting people praying like they did in Minneapolis?
That was an act of protest, and the point of protest is to disrupt business as usual. At the end of the day, injustice is happening all around us, and the church house is not a place to escape that. So if that means that we have to hold somebody accountable in that church house, that's what that means.
Do you think that disrupting people and bothering normal people out and about is a good way to win people over to your side?
I don't think that people dying indiscriminately in their cars, and I don't think people being bombed in their homes and children being drowned. I think that's
children being drowned. What? Who's bombing and drowning children? That is not happening. And clearly, this young lady has no idea that protesting in a church the way that Lemon did it is totally against the law. It's against the FACE Act. But you know, she needs to be a little bit more educated before she speaks.
That's very great.
The person who was killed in their car was blocking ICE and then accelerated her car at an ICE agent.
Well, there are multiple views of the video. There are some views that support what you say. There are some views that do not.
Would you do that, though? Like, would you interfere directly with ICE operations or park your car in front of them or try to block them from doing their job?
Would you stop people from having slaves?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
What? Why does she have to go to the slave issue? It has nothing to do with anything they're talking about.
It wouldn't stop federal law enforcement officers from doing their job, deporting deportable targets, illegal immigrants in this country.
Law enforcement used to be slave catchers. Do you support slave
but they're not.
See, this is stupid Crockett. When she says stupid things and stupid people listen and hear her stupid words, they believe what she's saying and then they repeat like a sheep. The stupidity. Law enforcement is nothing like slave catchers from over 200 years ago, lady.
They're not now, and no, I don't. You're trying to say it's the same thing?
It is.
So President Obama, are you a fan of his?
Yeah.
He deported 5.
Yeah, I'm totally cool with Obama because he's black. I mean, that's really what it is. I hate how Obama gets all of these passes because he's black and nobody wants to say so because they don't want to be called a racist. Well, I don't care. Call me a racist. But Obama did what he did and got away with what he did primarily because he was our first black president. Let's keep it real.
5 million people with ICE.
Reporter in chief, and we hate that. He also built the cages that Trump put those children in.
So was he doing slavery though?
Anybody can be a white supremacist. Anybody.
So Obama did that, but you still like him?
I mean, I think he's a cool, like, uncle type guy, but as far as a president, I think he should be in jail. He's a war.
My mother is an immigrant, and I would never want someone to knock on her door and just rip her away.
Kidnapping Nazis acting as a Gestapo arm of the Trump regime. There will be some kind of truth and reconciliation, and justice will come one day, I hope. Yeah, I mean, we'll have our own little our own little version of Nuremberg.
There's many different ways that you could go about it that doesn't involve putting your hands on people, literally ripping them away from their families or putting a bullet in their head.
These agents are just like power hungry.
You know, why don't you just try not coming into the country illegally? Then you have nothing to worry about.
They wear a mask for a reason. The violence is absolutely immoral and dehumanizing.
Yes, I agree. The protests against ICE agents are not good. So I'm glad we're on the same page there.
I find it similar to.
Come on, you could do
to
it.
What like a fascist regime could be like?
Yeah,
like
there you go.
Something like the Empire in Star Wars.
Okay, I guess you went there.
Especially in Andor,
Specifically Andor. Okay, well, at least this guy's a geek, so I mean, he's got that going for him, right?
Where like it's just immorally wrong, and the people that have lost their lives and have suffered because of it, it's just horrible and should not be a common occurrence right now, but it sadly is.
It's like every other group got some type of reparations for all the trauma and stuff they went through.
Really?
But black people.
Every other group got reparations but black people? What reparations are you talking about? Can you please give some details? Because I have not seen any reparations given to any other group of people here in America. All right, let's go on.
That's the crazy thing. Black people are the only ones who got no type of reparations. Didn't even get their original land back. Nothing.
They never had land. What are you talking about? Their original land was over back in Africa. So, what are you saying?
The government paid for their losses of having slaves. Since they didn't have slaves no more, they paid them. But yet, the black people who they stole their land.
What land are you talking about? They never owned land here in America. They were brought over from Africa and other places to America. They never owned land here. Ever. I mean, as a slave, they never owned land. Now, maybe after they were freed, I know some of them definitely got land because land was given to them as part of, well, you could call it reparations. Lincoln made sure, I can't remember what the name of the act was, but yeah, it was, she doesn't know what she's talking about.
Who they burned down their cities.
Okay. What cities?
Who they raped. Who they ate.
What? Is there documentation that slaves were eaten by slave owners? I've never seen that. I've never read that. I've never heard that, so I don't know.
Who they tortured.
Okay, that's true.
Who they made furniture out of.
Who they made furniture out of? Okay, I think she's just making stuff up now, but...
They made dolls out of. Who they made dentures out of.
Did she say made dentures out of? That doesn't make any sense if she said dentures, but maybe I clearly didn't hear her.
Who they experimented on.
Okay, that's true.
No reparations. Nothing. Is that not crazy? That's why when the topic of reparations come up, it's like every other group gets some form of reparations. Native Americans, look at them. Okay. Just if you're indigenous, you get a check every month. You get a check every month, depending on what, tribe you in. You be getting casinos, this and that. It's like, damn.
I think only the people that are on reservations get checks. I think anybody that's indigenous that lives off the reservation, I don't think they get a check, but I could be wrong.
What about black people?
What about them?
What the fuck about black people? Why we ain't getting no land?
Here's the land
Why we ain't
again.
getting no reparations? And the word on the street is these other countries are saying that they can't even trust America's nothing no more. Don't go to America. They deem America as a dangerous place to be right now, which it is, because they're offing their own citizens.
Jeez.
You can't even say what you want to say. You can't protest.
You're on social media right now talking, saying exactly what you want to say. No one's busting down your door and putting you in jail for saying your stupid words. That doesn't happen in this country.
Because they are being aggressive.
And here's Chuck Schumer pimping the old Jim Crow 2.0 argument for getting rid of the SAVE Act, and it just smacks in the face of reality when over 80% of the people, and it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican, they want voter ID. And then we're going to be hearing from a couple of people who are actually from the Black community, And it's amazing because their opinions seem to be slightly different from what Chuck has to say. Let's check it out.
About 83% of the American people, including majority Democrats, support voter ID laws.
Well, yeah, the voter ID laws that, first, each state can have its own voter ID laws, and some do and some don't. But secondly, what they are proposing in this so-called SAVE Act is like Jim Crow 2.0. They make it so hard to get any kind of voter ID that more than 20 million legitimate people, mainly poorer people and people of color, will not be able to vote under this law. We will not let it pass in the Senate. We are fighting it tooth and nail. It's an outrageous proposal that is, that shows the sort of political bias of the MAGA right. They don't want poor people to vote. They don't want people of color to vote because they often don't vote for them.
I've been black and American my whole life, and I don't know one black American who doesn't have a photo ID. I've never met one. Of all the people who would need ID, it will probably be black people who don't want to be harassed by the powers that be, right? This goes all the way back to my great-grandmother, Mama Lottie. She even has her ID, or had her ID when she was here, in order to vote. So when I see these Democrats get on TV and fearmonger about Jim Crow 2.0 because they want to require that citizens show their ID at the polls, it makes me wonder, why wouldn't you want people to show their ID at the polls? But the excuse they use is that this will disenfranchise black people for some reason. What black person don't have a damn ID or driver's license in the United States of America who's an American citizen and is moving and shaking? That's all of us. We can't move in this without an ID. So when they get on TV and they say, oh, this is going to disenfranchise black people, it's insulting to me. It's insulting to the intelligence because it's a blatant attempt to replace demographics over here with foreigners who don't have a right to vote. Because why would it be a problem to show your ID in order to vote in the national elections here? We're talking about the Electoral College. There's over 10 states in this country that don't require a photo ID. So it makes you wonder about some of these elections. Who's voting in these elections if y'all don't require an ID at the polls? Anybody can just come over here willy-nilly and say, I want this person to be the president because they're going to benefit me. Or I want this person to be a state representative because they're going to benefit me with this fraud and continuously taking from the pot that we all pour into. No, we should have ID in this country in order to vote, just like you would in any other country. Why is that an issue? Because there's one side of this country that wants to replace foundational black Americans, black people, with the demographic of people who they will enslave mentally far longer than they have been able to do with us. And they've had us for a good 70 years. But we're starting to wake up and see that that party does not represent us. They represent their interests. And at this point, their interest is to replace black Americans with other. Because why would there be a problem with having a photo ID? So whenever y'all get on here and y'all hear that brainwashing, gaslighting propaganda about Jim Crow 2.0, just remember that every black person that's in this country alive today does have a photo ID. Get real.
So is it me or is the whole voter ID conversation stupid? Chuck Schumer last week said that voter ID is Jim Crow 2.0. So he's suggesting that it's racist. Now, being as though we live in a society where ID is required for so many different things, why is it only problematic or racist in regards to voting? And why do black people keep allowing them to suggest that you're too dumb and too poor and too incapable and too damn stupid to go down to your local DMV and get an ID or a driver's license? So if voter ID is racist, then asking for ID at the bank has to be racist also. Because you need an ID to open a bank account. You need an ID to enroll your children in school and daycare. You need an ID when you get a new job. Employers ask for ID from new hires. You need an ID to sign up for welfare. You need an ID to get on a plane. You need ID to walk inside of a federal building. And it's a million other things that there are ID requirements for. Why is it that voting is the only thing? This is the only argument that they can make, is that voter ID is racist. That's how you know it's bullshit. If ID is racist, then get rid of ID across the board then. So if the goal is to secure our elections, right, one of the most basic, most common sense steps that you can take is to require ID when you go to vote. It's really that simple. And if you are an adult just walking around living life with no ID and have no ability to obtain one, you probably don't need to be voting anyway. I'm just saying, you probably don't need to be voting anyway. You need to get your life together. And if we just being real, if we just being honest, the reason that Democrats don't want ID is because they want illegal aliens to vote in our elections. That's why they opened the border. That's why they don't want them to leave the country. And that's why they don't want anybody having to present ID when they go into the voting booth.
So here's something that should really piss you off. I saw it posted on Facebook. Guy said, my wife ordered NyQuil from Walmart.
Okay.
Walmart required that when the driver came, he took a photo of my wife's ID.
What?
The driver spoke no English, took a photo of his wife's ID for NyQuil from Walmart. But we can't ask for an ID at a voting booth. And the left will literally talk so much crap to me on the comments because I'm going to make this video, especially on TikTok. The other day I had 378 comments that were so foul that they didn't show up. I had to go in and delete them one by one.
Wow.
And I can't call somebody a fat pig or I get dinged on my account.
We just saw Chuck Schumer vehemently rail against the SAVE Act, saying that's Jim Crow 2.0, but here he is in 1996, and you know what? He sounds a little different. Let's check it out.
Thank the gentleman, salute him for his work on this, rise in support of the amendment. First of all, Social Security card is used from one end of America to the other as an identification card right now. Who are we kidding? If you want to pass a law and says it shouldn't be, I would ask the chairman and the distinguished minority member of the Social Security committee to pass that law, but let's admit the truth. Everywhere people go, they're asked for a Social Security card. In fact, one way to prove you're a bona fide person who can have a job is to ask for a driver's license and a Social Security card. This is an anti-fraud amendment. All over where we go, people say, well, why can't you stop illegal immigrants or others from coming here? And the number one answer we give our constituents is when they come here, they can get jobs, get benefits against the law because of fraud. And here, the gentleman from Florida has put together the most effective anti-fraud measure we can find without it changing the actions of the government one bit. And we find all this opposition. Ladies and gentlemen of this chamber, what I worry about is that this bill, which started out with good intentions, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, is going to end up being the same kind of thing that the public gets angry with us on. We say we're doing something, and we do nothing. Because every time someone makes a rational and small proposal to get something done, people say, well, what about this hypothetical, that hypothetical, etc. I urge support of this amendment. If you believe you want to stop fraud in immigration, you have no choice but to support this amendment.
Boy, what a hypocrite. The SAVE Act doesn't make it harder to vote, it makes it harder to cheat. Well, yes, of course, that's the reason why we're doing it. Liberals in shock after witnessing a black man get a driver's license ID all on his own. What? That's crazy. That shouldn't happen. That goes against all of nature. The Democrats are stupid. And check out this lady who apparently has not been shopping for the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. She's shocked that there are items that are being locked away and that you have to call for help to get them. I know it's a sad reality, but it's the reality Biden gave us. But let's check out her dilemma.
Look at this. This is the ice cream counter, or the ice cream freezer. And you have to ask for assistance to get it unlocked. It's literally locked, and there is a button. You have to call for help. I've never seen this in my life. Tell me if your stores have this too.
Well, the grocery stores I go to do not have that, thank goodness. We don't have rampant roaming gangs of violent youth breaking into the stores and pillaging them at will. So, yeah, we don't really have to worry about that kind of, they lock up the normal stuff that they've locked up forever. Well, all I have to say is after watching this next clip is, why aren't we bringing back water cannons to use on the crowd because I think it would be pretty effective. Let's check this out. She knew what was coming. Massive respect. BBWC, bring back water cannons. Yeah, I'm with you. The worst part for her, it broke her 9-month not showering streak. Oh no! That's funny. And now, after the noise.
I was expecting some kind of reaction, but in the air is super chill. It all started one day when Uka was watching me paraglide. Uka would come running between my legs, and I was like, okay, you want to try? We can try if you want. To check if Uka was okay to fly, I had a checklist. The first step was to build a special harness for him. So in the air, it's super comfy for him and for me. Then I started to play with my own glider, with him around me. After a few days, we were running around with the glider. Uka was having fun, and that was important for me. After a few months of training, Uka was finally ready to come fly with me. But to fly with Uka, you need even better weather conditions. We had to wait for a long time. Finally, that moment came. We drove up to the Alps, then we had to hike. We were racing up the mountain because we didn't want to lose this opportunity. Finally, we got to the top of the mountain. When I showed him the harness, he knew what was going to happen. He came between my legs and he knew he was about to take off. He was super excited. It was a dream come true for me when Uka and I were paragliding together. It's really an amazing feeling. He was super calm, super chill. When Uka is in the air, he shows no fear. I cannot imagine something better to share with my dog.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the show today, my friends, and thank you for all those that subscribed and for all those that became members of the Producers Club, which allows you to watch the Dave Show ad-free and in all of its glory. Okay, my friends, until the next episode, stay safe, know that you are loved and appreciated, and until we meet again, have a great day.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear.